on the red carpet, and we are gearing up for Full Gear. Hello, everyone. It's Tony Schiavone along with Dasha. We are here not only with Dasha, but as always with Alex Abrahantes, and we're going to have some very special interviews as the stars arrive here tonight in Jacksonville for Full Gear. Now, don't forget that you can join us on pay-per-view, but also at 7 o'clock, we have the buy-in as well.
That's right, and we're going to have live fans in the audience. The energy is absolutely incredible. There's a lot of buzz going on outside, backstage, you name it. It's going to be an incredible night, and you guys most definitely are not going to want to miss it.
8 o'clock straight up, we take the air live on pay-per-view. The buy-in's going to have a special match as well, but let's get to the card that we have for you tonight. I think our best card ever, really. John Moxley, Eddie Kingston for the AEW World Championship tonight. Dasha, that's going to be an I Quit match.
We're going to find out who quits tonight, but in tag team action, the AEW World Tag Team titles will be on the line as FTR faces the Young Bucks. We heard the Young Bucks say that they will never vie for those titles again if they don't win tonight, and unfortunately, FTR will not have Tully in their corner.
Tully has been banned from ringside. We found that out on social media after Dynamite on Wednesday night. That is for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The AEW Women's World Championship on the line tonight. Champion Hikaru Shida will defend against a former champion Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero in her corner.
Vicky Guerrero, who knows what that woman's going to get into.
I like how you say that.
But also, Matt Hardy will face Sammy Guevara in a match that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. The Elite Deletion will be happening tonight in a very special location, we found out as well.
We found out that it will be at the Hardy compound. What a match that is going to be, the Elite Deletion match. That is not all we have for you tonight. We have Orange Cassidy against John Silver of the Dark Order, number 4, if you will, something that's been brewing between these two men for quite a while.
I've heard Johnny is hungry tonight, so we're ready to see him in action against Orange Cassidy. But also, the Demo God, Le Champion Chris Jericho will face MJF, and if MJF wins tonight, he wins a spot in the Inner Circle.
So there's a lot on the line in that big match tonight. And fans, we also have for you for the TNT Championship tonight, Cody will defend against the Enigma, Darby Allin. Let's take a very special look at this matchup tonight, live on pay-per-view.
A little over a year ago, talk in the wrestling world, a company named AEW opening up. Well, for an old-timer like me that's been a wrestler 38 years, I looked at that and went, awesome. Now for every person that is a fan of professional wrestling, you have a home. I have a home. Cody is the face of this company. He's the hardest working man in this company. That's who Cody wants to be. He wants to dress the part. He wants to look the part. He wants to act the part. All the kids out there that are sitting in the floor on Wednesday night with their friends going, I want to be Cody.
You hear the chants of Cody. He has this connection with the fans that is very rarely seen in pro wrestling.
He has resonated with this crowd, and not just this crowd, but around the world.
He wants to earn that. He wants that respect to come because he did all of the right things to represent this company. Screech to a halt.
Darby Allin is a strange enigma.
To say he is unorthodox would be an understatement.
There's another generation of human beings and children out there.
I think fans get behind me because they notice this isn't a gimmick, this isn't a joke. I don't turn this off Thursday morning. This is me.
Darby Allin is as different as anybody I've ever seen in this industry.
First time we saw Darby Allin in AEW, it was against Cody. Cody couldn't beat him.
That's it. 20 minutes has expired.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time limit has expired. I've been Darby's daddy on more than one occasion.
Arms on the apron. Arn found his knees. Oh! Arn putting the knees up. They're covered. Yes, finally. It's on.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. He's gonna win. He's gonna win. Cody's got him. No, Cody got him pinned. What?
The Darby that Cody's going to face at Full Gear is a different crazy cat than he was before. Kid gets better every single time out.
Back in the day when AEW was first announced, that press conference, I was sitting in my piece of shit car watching it live. I was nowhere near someone asking me, yo, do you want to be a part of this? So I felt like I was the last round draft picked in this company, and that pissed me off.
He's gaining something that he had to have, and that's confidence. He's been told all his life you can't do it. You're too small. You're too unorthodox. You're not traditional, but he's overcome all those preconceived notions.
I paint my face because when I was 5 years old, my uncle was drunk driving, and he picked me up, and about an hour into the car ride, he crashed, and he passed away, but I survived. So I paint 50% of my face because 50% of me feels dead inside. See, when something like that happens at such an early age, it shapes you, and it makes you question everything and don't trust anybody. Inside, no matter what I do or whatever I accomplish, nothing's ever good enough. I'm always out there to prove someone wrong.
The TNT Championship means virtually every week you're going to have a top flight performer step up and go, I'm next in line. Cody, he's hog-headed. He believes he's the champion. If you're the challenger, he's going to give you a fair crack at what the prize is.
It's been documented you gained 14 pounds during your hiatus. Is there a goal in mind with this weight gain?
It was time for me to genuinely shift into heavyweight territory. If you look at the matches I've had with Jake Hager, Lance Archer, Mr. Brody Lee, I'm practically AEW's giant killer.
Cody is approaching his business right now with a strong mental approach.
Remember when you strapped that dog collar around your neck? You'd already been routed by that man one time. You had everything to gain and nothing to lose. Darby, that's where he's sitting. If he doesn't win, people are going to say, well, you know what? Cody's the man.
If I was to say that Darby is not a worthy challenger, I'd be lying. Of course he's a worthy challenger. But I'd be remiss if I don't point out I think there are other challengers. Again, Darby has bent the knee twice. He's been handedly defeated twice. If Darby doesn't win, who's Darby? He's one of those wrestlers that for the next decade we talk about how he's the future. Those are the worst type of wrestlers. You're not a rookie anymore. Sammy Guevara, MJF, Darby Allin, Britt Baker, all you year one rookies, it's year two now. And most of you have grown and glown up. But Darby has just got the worst draw of them all. He really does. He's gonna be standing across from me.
It's not about the money, it's not about the fame, it's about being the damn face of this company. I'm not changing who the hell Darby Allin is.
Darby Allin's going to be competing for the TNT Championship, and clearly there's something really wrong with him.
He has no regard for his own personal safety.
I think he's relentless. I think he's reckless. Now you're on a pay-per-view, a major pay-per-view, with half the locker room, more than half, wondering why they're not on the pay-per-view. How do you think you're gonna feel when you have to walk by all those guys who didn't make the cut and you lost again?
These are two athletes that know each other in the ring. Two completely different styles, two completely different lifestyles, two completely different mindsets between the TNT champion Cody and Darby Allin.
Cody, he's willing to change who he is should the situation demand it. We saw it when he came back. He dyed his hair dark, he was wearing black suits. He went to this dark place. He had to go to this dark place. Darby doesn't. Darby is in that place constantly.
I believe that added muscle, added motivation gives Cody the edge.
I am here to be a champion. I'm here to main event this show. I'm here to be the face of TNT.
I don't like telling a story that's not real. And the story that Darby can't be the face of TNT is not real. He certainly can't be. Is he going to be?
Darby Allin, he's an enigma, but he gets a shot at being a champion here at Full Gear. We're here on the red carpet in Dasha. What about that TNT title match, Cody and Darby?
Darby seems extremely focused. Week after week, he's been in the arena watching all the action. But at the same time, Cody's been defending his TNT title. So I'm excited to find out what happens tonight.
It will happen tonight. Let's bring in Brandy. Brandy, it's good to see you. Good to see Pharaoh and Monty. The whole family's here. How are they doing?
You know all their names. I'm impressed. Pharaoh just came back from recent ACL repair surgery, so people were concerned about him. He's doing great. So that's why he's here. And then Monty is just ancient. He's 16, almost 17, and look at him. He's living the life. Yeah. He's just living the life.
Bless his heart. I want to ask you about the match, Cody and Darby. Do you think Cody is taking this match seriously tonight for the TNT Championship?
Well, you know, Darby, he's a real different kind of cat, right?
Boy, is he ever. Yeah.
Calls himself relentless, all the tattoos, and says he has no fear, which is cool. I'm interested in that. I just don't think that makes him a champion. When I think of champion, I think of great. I don't necessarily think of a guy with half face paint going through a goth phase late in life. But that's me. When I think of great, I think of Cody. He's great on all levels, across the board. In the ring, backstage, in business, looks department. Come on, right, Dasha? Yeah, okay. But for that reason, I think he's taking Darby incredibly seriously. That's what a great champion should do. Me, however, I don't have to.
All right, Brandy, thank you very much. Brandy Rhodes talking about that TNT title match. Another title match coming up tonight is going to be for the AEW Women's Championship as Shida will defend against the former champion Nyla Rose.
That's right. Nyla Rose is trying to become a two-time AEW Women's World Champion. But this time around, she's got Vicky Guerrero in her corner.
And that could be the difference. Let's take a special look at tonight's AEW Women's World Title matchup.
See, that 105-day reign as AEW Women's World Champion, that started at Double or Nothing earlier this year.
She's not done yet.
Boom! With the knee to the face. Covers 2, 3.
She got it. Shida's a champion. Shida has upset Nyla Rose.
Long time coming and well-deserved for Shida.
Stand tall like the mountain we overcome.
Once you're the champion, the last thing you want to lose is that distinction.
Stand up, stand tall.
Either the athlete makes the championship or the championship makes the athlete. She has made the AEW Women's World Championship.
Take it all.
Excuse me! Nyla Rose is going to steal every opportunity you have ever dreamed of!
Nyla Rose, obviously very dominant in women's division, former AEW Women's World Champion. So she's had that goal. Then to lose that championship is heart-wrenching. But then, what does she do? She gets involved with someone like Vicky Guerrero.
When Nyla Rose and myself are ready to go after the Women's Championship, it will be the perfect time.
Who's going to stop Nyla Rose now with Vicky Guerrero on her side?
I think Vicky's added stability in the career of Nyla Rose. Vicky's a veteran. Vicky Guerrero has lived a life in pro wrestling.
Some would think, hey, Shida is the AEW Women's World Champion. What more does she have to prove? She's beaten everybody. Well, that's the trick when you're a champion. You have to prove yourself to the person in the mirror.
There are a lot of us that believe that if Shida wrestled Nyla Rose 10 times, then Nyla might win 7 or 8 of them.
This is how legends are made.
We are no longer stepping inside this ring until Shida publicly accepts my challenge.
Nyla, you want me? I want you at Full Gear.
So you wanna be a champion? You want the world to know your name? Screaming from the rooftops, 'cause you're wrong.
We are the Vicious Vixens, and we will not be put to the side.
Screaming from the rooftops, 'cause you're running the game.
I invite you to come into our ring.
Folks, this is going to be a slobber knocker, I can tell you that right now.
So the rematch is set for tonight at Full Gear. Hikaru Shida to defend against the former champion Nyla Rose. With that in mind, let's go back on the red carpet. Here is Alex Abrahantes. Alex.
Thanks so much, Tony. Obviously, there is a lot of history between the combatants in the AEW Women's Championship match tonight at Full Gear. And right now I have the opportunity to talk to the Vicious Vixens. It's Vickie Guerrero and Nyla Rose. Nyla, I have to ask you, do you feel as if you're prepared tonight for the champion, Hikaru Shida?
Of course she's prepared. As the manager of Nyla Rose, I have been planning and scheming for this night. I mean, like I said before, she is going to break Shida's bones and make her cry.
Okay, then, well, Nyla, I have to ask you. You were defeated at Double or Nothing back in May. Has it been difficult to watch someone else defend this championship?
I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to you, Shida. The first time we met, it was luck. That's it. Just dumb luck. Well, much like how all the idiots ran around and bought up all the toilet paper at the top of the year, your luck has run out. Tonight, your time has run out. And quite frankly, Shida, my patience has run out. This past week, you put your hands on my manager, Vickie Guerrero. Well, understand something. Tonight, I get to put my hands on you. And I'm going to show you exactly why we are the Vicious Vixens.
Well, obviously a very focused and intense challenger. Tony and Dasha, back to you.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. Boy, those two ladies certainly have the attitude, don't they?
Nyla definitely has a lot of anger built up over the past couple months, and she's ready. She seems focused, and she seems determined to regain that title tonight.
She'll have her chance tonight. It is all part of Full Gear, and the event is on pay-per-view. Your cable and satellite providers have it for you at 8 o'clock tonight. Don't forget, the buy-in begins at 7 o'clock, and we'll have a special match during the buy-in as well. One of the feature matches tonight will determine if MJF becomes a part of the Inner Circle. MJF and Chris Jericho will go at it one-on-one tonight. It's a match that's been brewing for a couple of weeks now with a lot of implications, Dasha.
That's right, because if MJF wins, he's going to be a member of the Inner Circle.
Right, and Chris Jericho says, can he beat me? The last time Chris Jericho talked about MJF, he said he was too soft. And then MJF had his response. A special look now at what's been happening between these two stars.
I think me and Chris, we have a very fun relationship, a very interesting relationship. I think at times, sure, we most certainly can get under each other's skin, but that's only because we both want to outperform one another, which is normal because we're both alphas and we're both really, really, really good at our job.
I believe in you, man. I believe in you too, Max. Much respect. There you go.
Have a great show.
Yeah, have a great show tonight.
No, you have a great
Kill
show.
it!
You'd kill it.
What a loser.
The Dinner Debonair is one of the greatest segments in pro wrestling history that nobody saw coming, and nobody could have pulled that off besides Max and myself. Nobody.
Like the wallpaper sticks to the wall.
Like the seashore clings to the sea.
Like you'll never get rid of your shadow. Chris, you'll never get rid of me.
In the business now, then, in the future. So the chemistry is off the charts.
Chris Jericho, the man, the myth, the legend, the champion, come on, baby! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! The demo god! That means an awful lot.
Yeah, you know?
You're pretty great. No. Chris, stop it. You're pretty great.
You're great.
No, Chris! You're great, man!
For MJF, if I'm being really frank and really blunt, I don't think it would benefit him to be with the Inner Circle.
Let's talk about that, huh?
What a present.
Is that not the greatest gift you've ever seen?
Thank you so much for this amazing present. Thank you. Chris? I hate clowns, and don't ever interrupt me again. You understand me?
This may change the course of what MJF had to say next week. Of course.
You got me there for a second.
Prestige, my mega stardom. I really don't know what I wouldn't bring to the group. Look, everybody in that group is fantastic, and I'm not trying to say anything negative about them. They're all incredible, but like, they're not me. I mean, me and Chris are literally the two biggest minute-for-minute rating draws in the company. That's not nonsense, that's a fact. Google it. And what more could you possibly ask for than having two megastars in one group?
Chris, I would like to join the inner spiritual child in my body to get my smile back. Dumb, Max.
MJF is smart, one of the sharpest minds in all of wrestling. Jericho, same goes for him. These two men are cut from the same cloth.
I'm Max Friedman. Would sort of, kind of, hypothetically, theoretically, possibly, plausibly might want to join the Inner Circle.
I think it would benefit MJF to join the Inner Circle. I think it would benefit the Inner Circle to have MJF part of their ranks.
I think the only thing about MJF that I'll say, and this is not a cut down, is MJF isn't as good as he thinks he is yet. What's scary is when he actually becomes as good as he thinks he is, which will happen very, very soon.
It's a facade. They're both attempting to play mind games with the other, and neither are smart enough to succeed.
Jericho is someone that knows talent. He sees maybe a new version of Chris Jericho in MJF.
So you got two of the great communicators in all of pro wrestling stepping in the ring together. How they communicate physically is going to be very intriguing. But I think Jericho could very easily have said, you know, this little son of a gun reminds me of me, 25 years ago.
So I ask you, Christopher, what exactly haven't I done?
You haven't beat me. But I'm going to give you a chance to do that. At Full Gear on November 7th, it's going to be MJF versus Chris Jericho one-on-one.
I don't think there's anybody of his age or his experience level who's done what he's done in such a short period of time.
This is the biggest opportunity of my life, and I am not taking it for granted. So I'm going to let you know something man to man. I will do whatever it takes to win. I will do anything to win.
I'd expect nothing less.
No, Chris. You don't understand. Anything. Odds are that Chris is going into this match very confident, as you should be. Look, we're fighting over my right on whether or not I can be in the Inner Circle.
You don't have that killer instinct.
He's passed a lot of tests to earn the right to stand across the ring from Chris Jericho. From his performance in Le Dinner Debonair, to the way he answered the questions at the town hall meeting, to the way he handled Sammy and Ortiz's resistance to him joining the Inner Circle. Everything he's done, every step of the way has been absolutely tremendous. He's showing why I'm even considering this in the first place, but he still has to beat me. I don't know if he can. Like I said, not a lot of people can beat Chris Jericho.
They're both smart enough to realize what a threat the other man possesses.
Can MJF beat me? I don't know.
It would bar none be the biggest win in my entire career, and that's saying stuff, man, because I've beaten everybody. But Chris Jericho isn't everybody. Chris Jericho is a legend. Chris Jericho is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Chris Jericho will probably go down as one of, if not the greatest professional wrestler of all time, until I retire.
If he's good enough physically, if he's good enough mentally, if he's smart enough, maybe he can beat Chris Jericho. I wouldn't bet on it, but if he can, then he'll be offered the keys to the Inner Circle Kingdom.
Well, there are certainly interesting circumstances that have led up to the stipulation in this matchup. And right now, MJF, I have a couple of questions for you. This past Wednesday night on Dynamite, Chris Jericho called you soft.
No. See, you don't get to say that. Nobody gets to say that because I'm not soft. No, I'm razor sharp. I'm tough as nails. Nobody in all of AEW is tougher than me, but everybody seems to get it twisted. They get confused when they see the $5,000 suits, the Burberry scarf, the beautiful jewelry. But don't get it twisted, folks, because no one is better than me bell to bell. Now, as far as MJF versus Chris Jericho, this is obviously a very important matchup. It is the demo god versus the ratings ruler. Two of the biggest names in all of professional wrestling, going toe-to-toe. This is the most important matchup of my life, Alex. And some might say that's a bit ridiculous to say because I wrestled Jonathan Moxley for the AEW World title. And to them, I'd say, you're an idiot. If Jonathan Moxley cheated while I was in the inner circle, that wouldn't have flew by. That wouldn't have worked. So when I beat Chris Jericho, and trust me, I am going to beat Chris Jericho, I will get to have the inner circle at my helm. I will get to be a part of the greatest faction in all professional wrestling, and I will easily get as much gold as I want.
Okay, well, Wardlow, how do you feel you'll fit in the inner circle?
That's actually a great question for me, Alex. Wardlow's going to fit in great. Everybody loves Wardlow. Great athlete. As long as Jake Hager stops making weird faces at him, he's going to fit in swell.
Okay, well, let's talk about Jake Hager and some of the other members of the inner circle. They quite frankly don't want you in it, MJF. What are your thoughts on that?
Would you bring that up, Alex, you stooge? Listen, I don't know if you've noticed this, bud, but not a lot of people love MJF. But you know why that doesn't matter, Alex?
Why?
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
An always confident MJF. Is he going to be the newest member of the inner circle? We'll find out tonight at Full Gear.
North Carolina boys, they're going to do it their way, no matter if you like it or not.
If you had to sum it up in one word, FTR's stay thus far here in AEW, it'd be successful.
I think for the longest time here in AEW, I think it was cool to please the fans. I think it was cool to go out there and make the fans pop. And that is cool, but I think for myself and Cash, ultimately, leaving a legacy is what we want to do.
FTR, they come in here, they dominate.
They do what they said they were going to do.
They've become a great team with the addition of Tully Blanchard.
Nobody can deny how good we are. We're not saying that they aren't great.
No, we're not doubting that at all.
Clearly they are. And then you think about where we've been in the last year, and things haven't exactly gone our way. We'll be the first.
Let's be honest, not at all. Like, anytime we've had a big opportunity, we've lost, and that's not the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks coming to AEW was one of the great signings that Tony Khan made because the Young Bucks had and still do, a phenomenal following.
You talk about box office draws in tag team wrestling, you talk about the Young Bucks. Nobody has drawn the money that we did all around the world.
And the Young Bucks brought tag team wrestling back to superiority. And I have to give them that.
We all thought, including myself, well, heck, they'll be the champions sooner than later. Then we have the tournament, they get beat in the first round by the number 8 seed, Private Party. Who the hell saw that coming? I didn't.
Professional wrestling is all about, what have you done for me lately? And lately, we haven't been delivering like we normally would have.
I think that the Young Bucks believe, based on what we've seen in recent weeks, that they have to be more aggressive.
What? Oh, no! What in the hell?
They are as angry and as mad as I've ever seen them.
Those lashing out, those unsportsmanlike moments come out of frustration. They're pissed off. They haven't done better.
Jeez. What, did we interrupt something?
The Young Bucks now as executives have pretty deep pockets and can afford to pay fines that some members of this roster would shudder at.
They want to be the unquestioned top of the food chain, and they're not anymore. And the second we stepped foot in AEW, you saw this change.
All I know is that when we started acting ourselves again, I felt like something just feels right again.
This has always been in the heart of the Young Bucks. It's been a while since I've seen it awoken.
That felt good.
They can't help it when they're threatened, when they know they're not the best at what they do. They're going to do whatever they can to take attention away from us, away from these, and put it on themselves.
How upset was FTR when we won the 4-way tag match to become #1 contenders?
I don't think they thought we even had a shot, because every time we've had a shot, like I've said, we've pretty much blown it. We know that this opportunity is rare.
Finally, the Bucks and FTR at Full Gear. What the?
FTR's swarming on the Bucks. Nick Jackson's being set up.
Oh, the spike! They're gonna try to break the leg of man now!
Oh, no! Oh, my God!
Matt, I think the question that's on everybody's mind is, how's your ankle? Doc Sampson says it's a severe sprain, tubular contusion.
My ankle's fine. This match has been brewing for years now. You think that a little baby injury like this is gonna keep me out of Full Gear?
The Young Bucks have proven time and time again that don't count them out. Do so at your own peril.
The question I'm asking a lot is who's the better tag team, Young Bucks or FTR? The accolade goes with the team that has the gold. And that's how it's always been measured. That's how it should still be measured. Not a popularity contest, not who sells the most t-shirts, but who can whip ass in the ring. And right now, FTR is the tag team champions. FTR is the better team. And the way the Young Bucks can dispel that and change my mind, become the tag champions, then you get that accolade.
We've always reacted best when our backs are up against a wall. That's why at Full Gear, if we don't win the tag titles this time, we're never challenging for the tag titles ever again.
They may not understand it, but they've shot themselves in the foot.
This is a must-win for the Young Bucks.
Interesting to see what style is going to prevail and what team will walk out the World Tag Team Champs.
It's time to bet everything on the Young Bucks again.
Tully Blanchard tonight is barred from ringside in this World Tag Team title match.
Make things a little bit more fair during that title match.
Well, they tried to break Matt's leg. I mean, that's pretty apparent. So fans want you to be a part of this. It's Full Gear tonight. Cable providers, satellite providers. Of course, you can see it internationally on Fight.tv. Don't forget, and BR Live as well. Also, coming up this Tuesday, a very special announcement from AEW Games. A great night of action tonight awaits you for Full Gear, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, live and only on pay-per-view. But join us for the buy-in. It all begins at 7 o'clock, and we have a special buy-in match for you tonight. For the NWA Women's Championship, the new champion, Serena Deeb, will defend against a former champion, Allison Kay. That is part of the buy-in tonight. And then Full Gear takes the air.
That's right. The AEW World Championship will be defended as Jon Moxley faces Eddie Kingston in an I Quit match.
That is going to be violent, and that is going to be tremendous to watch as well. FTR will defend the AEW World Tag Team Championship against the Young Bucks. Young Bucks say if they lose, they will never go after the World Tag Team title again. Plus, Tully Blanchard is barred from ringside tonight.
That's right. Tully will not be getting in any shenanigans. But also the AEW Women's World title will be on the line as Hikaru Shida faces Nyla Rose, who has Vicky Guerrero in her corner.
This time she does, and she is looking to regain that AEW Women's World Championship as well. Tonight, we will see the Elite Deletion match. We understand it's from the Hardy compound. Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara will finally settle the score tonight as part of Full Gear.
Also happening tonight, Orange Cassidy will face John for silver from the Dark Order, and things are going to get a little crazy during that match.
It's always crazy when you add those two in the ring. We look forward to seeing what's going to happen tonight. Will MJF become a member of the Inner Circle? He can if he defeats Le Champion Chris Jericho tonight. Chris Jericho to MJF will go one-on-one. Can't wait to see this matchup.
And also happening tonight, the TNT Championship will be defended as Cody will face Darby Allin.
And tonight, the finals of the Eliminator Tournament. Kenny Omega against his former partner, Hangman Adam Page, to see who will get the next AEW World title shot. What a story this has been with these two men leading to this final match tonight.
When you have the level of talent in this tournament, anything could happen. And I think Kenny and Hangman being in the tournament final at Full Gear is the storybook ending that everyone was hoping for.
Both winning type guys, but I think they're two individuals that inadvertently were put together as a team and they gelled.
I think Kenny Omega is still trying to find who Kenny Omega is after his time with Page as tag team champions.
When he and Page were finally dethroned, that gave Kenny the perfect excuse to say, hey, I don't need anybody else. This is my time. I can do it myself.
I see Kenny Omega winning the match, only because, to me, he is wrestling with an abundance of confidence right now.
If Hangman Page is mentally focused, has a great strategy, he can beat Kenny Omega.
For me, this is easy. As a subject matter expert on Kenny Omega, the world's greatest wrestler is going to beat Hangman Page. You heard it from Don Callis.
It'll be interesting to see how much they took away from each other as far as knowing each other and how that's going to play out in the match.
Throw anyone you got at me. I'm gonna win this thing, and I'm gonna be the champion that I was destined to be in AEW, Hangman Adam Page or not.
Once tag team champions, now they will go at it to see who will get the next world title shot here in AEW. But also tonight, how about this, Dasha, the Elite Deletion match?
What will these two not do to each other? This match is happening at the Hardy compound, so I'm going to be on the edge of my seat.
It will happen to the Hardy compound. You're talking about a bitter battle. We want you to join us tonight, live on pay-per-view, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, as we will see Sammy Guevara go up against Matt Hardy in the Elite Deletion match.
Both men down. The only thing that broke their fall was the concrete floor.
Okay, Matt's out. He's out.
Over the last couple of days, the outpouring of love and support has truly been overwhelming, humbling, even mind-blowing. I can't believe how much love I've been shown. Thank you again. Thank you all. Thank you. But maybe it's a good thing that this vendetta between myself and Sammy is over. Most importantly for me, professional wrestling is my love, my passion, and my journey is not over.
We have a situation backstage. Come on. Isaiah,
Isaiah, what has happened to Matt Hardy?
I don't know. We was going to talk about a game plan for tonight. Yeah, next thing you know, I see them laid out.
When it comes to my time in AEW thus far, I would say it has been good and bad. I enjoy the environment at All Elite Wrestling. I've been able to contribute. I've been able to give back. And there's a lot of things I've done from a creative aspect that I love. The downside to that, the first show that I debuted was the first ever empty arena event. I expected to have 12,000 people, going delete, 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 but that wasn't the case. Also, to add to that, there's just been strange incidences that have happened. One, I got hit in the head with a chair and split, and then there was the event that happened at All Out. But me, being who I am, Matt Hardy, the man who doesn't die, the man who will not die, I am still here, and I am still going to continue to make the most of this, and things will get better. Just like the world is gonna get better from this pandemic, I will move past this in AEW, and I will get back to the prominent position that I want to be in.
And I'm very happy to say that as of tonight, I am 100% healthy and I am cleared to return to the ring.
Is there ever any question, Matt? Who attacked Matt Hardy? It was me. It was me all along, and I'm never gonna stop. I'm the man that left you laying it all out. I'm the man that took out your knee. I'm the man that busted your face. And I'm the man that every single week they clear you, I'm gonna send you right back on the shelf. I'm gonna send you right back to the hospital. Because this is not over until I send you home for good.
Samuel, you have become obsessed with me, and you said that your goal is to send me home for good. I shall voluntarily come home. I must warn you, by accepting my challenge and facing me in the elite deletion, when you enter the gates of the Hardy compound, things change forever. You think you can break me? I am already broken.
The Elite Deletion match is going to be unlike anything that we've ever seen here in AEW, and I have a feeling we're going to be talking about it for many years to come. But speaking of years, let's talk about the gentlemen who are going to be competing in our main event. They've known each other for decades, and I'm going to have an opportunity to talk to the challenger here in just a moment. But before we do, let's take a look at Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston.
My love for pro wrestling started as a kid. I couldn't calm down when I was a kid. I was a hyper kid. And my poor, beautiful mother, hey, Ma, she had to calm me down. And the only way she could calm me down was putting in wrestling tapes.
Here's a couple of things I know about Eddie Kingston from talking to him. This may be a surprise to many, but Eddie Kingston's best friend is his mom. She is the person that really, I wouldn't say leads him, but mentors him. He believes in his mom.
And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me driving. Not money, not fame, love.
18 years of grinding in this business, Eddie Kingston has been through the ringer. He's been chewed up and spit out. As bad as anybody I've ever seen. But he had the respect of his peers. And he wants to throw all that away and embrace bitterness. You want anger to be constructive, not destructive.
I wrestled the world's champion, Jon Moxley. And he put me in the bulldog choke. And guess what I did not do? I did not tap.
The difference between me and Eddie Kingston is I accept responsibility for my actions. I accept responsibility for my mistakes. I accept responsibility for my shortcomings. Eddie Kingston is always blaming somebody else.
Remsburg, I never tapped. You never heard me say I quit. What made you think? What gave you the right? What gave you the balls to ring that bell?
Eddie, you were unresponsive. I know you 18 years, you can't text me, call me all week. You want to bring me out here? You know my wife, my kids, right? Right, we go back. Yeah, okay. So that's our personal life, but here when we're in the ring, that's our professional life. And when you're in a world title match on national television, we're at work. And it's my job to protect you from yourself.
He blames somebody else for punching a promoter. He blames somebody else for throwing a temper tantrum, getting himself fired. I've put out a lot of Eddie Kingston fires. I've stood by Eddie Kingston and had his back as he burned down bridge after bridge after bridge.
Jon Moxley has the most dominant fighting spirit in all of pro wrestling. In any federation, any organization, for my money.
I think an I Quit match plays into Eddie Kingston's hands. I really do. You have to understand Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley, it's obvious they have a lot in common. They're old friends. Eddie knows Mox really, really well.
He's a tough guy, man. He's used to street fighting. And that's the thing that he can do, is that Eddie Kingston can match fighting, striking, as close as anybody we've got in AEW with Jon Moxley.
I think it's a classic match because of their backgrounds and their careers. So similar. Neither man would quit until he got to the top. And both men are in AEW right now. So I Quit is the perfect match for these two.
No one's got up in Mox's face. See, I enjoy this. I enjoy being put through hell. You wanna know why? Because I believe it's God's way of punishing me for all the things I've done in my life.
You know better than anybody. There is no greater pain that you feel down deep, twisting in your guts. No greater pain than losing a friend. Than watching that friend turn their back on you. Watching that friend change right before your eyes. Listening to that friend talk about how everything that you're proud of in your life, in your career, everything you have earned, through nothing but hard work and sacrifice. Listening to that friend make you feel bad about it, make you feel guilty about it, throw it back in your face.
It's not personal. I just want to beat his ass a little bit for forgetting people like me. Some of us aren't here no more. Some of us have passed away. Because either drugs, alcohol, or because of pro wrestling. Mox forgot those people.
You know, some might think it's a huge underdog story with Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. I don't think it's underdog. I think it's two guys that kind of came up the same way, and one veered off into the big bright lights, and the other one kind of stayed here. You know, now they're even again.
Until somebody proves to me that they can outfight Jon Moxley, I'm going to go with Moxley without a doubt. I think it's going to be it could be easily a bloodbath type match because the guys are going to be striking each other. That's Eddie Kingston's way to glory.
What I care about is winning. What I care about is fighting. What I care about is looking at my mother and going, Ma, I'm sorry I didn't give you a grandkid. Ma, I'm sorry I didn't give you a daughter-in-law. That's why I want to tell her sorry. Sorry, but look what I have. Look what I did this for, and it's the AEW World's Heavyweight Championship.
If Eddie Kingston became the AEW World Champion, it would be one of the great stories of wrestling in the last 5 to 10 years, I would think, because of his determination, because of where he came from.
When he's in a situation when he can't escape, he will be all alone. And finally, there will be nobody else to blame. There will be no excuses. There will be no promoter to punch out. There will be no tantrum to throw. There'll be absolutely nothing you can do but accept the fact that you are going to say, I quit. And repent for your actions.
You know what I'm representing? I'm representing every mutt that's out there. I'm representing everybody who said, hey man, you're too fat. Hey man, you got a bad attitude. Hey, you'll never make it. This is for the kid on the street corner on East 237. Just hanging out thinking, man, I gotta get out of this neighborhood. This is for you. And for all the people that don't like it, or for all the people I'm not doing it for, in all honesty, including you, John, you.
I'm here with Eddie Kingston and his fam. And Eddie, obviously, it's the most important night in your professional career. And I have a couple questions for you. But before I ask you, would it be all right if I asked members of the fam a couple questions?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. So Butcher, Blade, and Bunny, you've obviously known Eddie Kingston for a long period of time. Do you think he has what it takes to make Jon Moxley say the words, "I quit"?
What kind of question is that, Alex? What do you think? You don't think he has what it takes? Is that why you're asking me that? Of course he has what it takes. I think he's made it perfectly clear that he is not going to say, "I quit." Right, Alex? Right?
Okay. It was just a question. I understand.
Stupid question. It's a stupid question.
Okay, well, let me move on to the Lucha Brothers, if you don't mind. I'm sorry about that. Lucha Brothers, ¿ustedes piensan que Eddie Kingston está listo para Jon Moxley esta noche?
Por supuesto. ¿Y sabes por qué? Número 1, Eddie es my best friend. Número 2, Eddie es 1000 veces mejor que Mox. ¿O no?
Por supuesto, Eddie es el mejor.
Okay, muy bien. Eddie, a couple of questions for you. We saw a very intense confrontation this Wednesday between you and Jon Moxley. So I'd love to know whether the AEW Championship is more important to you tonight, or is making Jon Moxley say the words, "I quit," more important?
Nothing's more important than that World's Championship. Nothing. No revenge. No making a man say, "I quit." No beating a man half to death. It's all about the World's Championship. The only championship that means anything in this great sport. The only company that matters. That's what matters.
Okay, very good. So I have to ask you, if you were to become AEW champion here tonight, Lance Archer says that he's standing in the wings. Does that concern you at all?
I don't care. It's only about the World Championship. Moxley has it. I don't care about Archer. I don't care about Pac. I do not care.
All right, thank you very much, Eddie Kingston, a laser-focused challenger here tonight. It's going to be a very intense main event here at Full Gear. Tony and Dasha, back to you.
This I Quit match tonight has been personal between not only Eddie Kingston, obviously, but the world champion.
That's right. They used to be former friends, and let's see if they can become friends again. Probably not going to happen, though.
Probably not going to happen. Whoever says I quit tonight will lose, and the other man will walk away as the AEW World Champion. Another great match tonight will be Orange Cassidy going up against Silver, John Silver of the Dark Order, number 4. As a matter of fact, we have Alex Abrahante standing by with Orange Cassidy. Alex?
Wait, so who's next? Orange Cassidy? How am I supposed to interview Orange Cassidy? The guy doesn't even talk. Like, what's he going to stand here and flick his hair for 5 minutes? You're lying. No, I'm not. I'm like, oh, hey, thanks, Tony and Dasha. So, listen, I'm really excited to interview this next individual. I mean, his charisma is absolutely off the charts. His just energy level has really transcended the entire world. Of course, I'm referring to none other than, oh my gosh, it's John Silver! Wow, and the entire Dark Order. Gentlemen, I mean, what a coincidence. I had no idea you were going to be here. What a treat this is. Absolutely a treat. Thank you so much for joining me here today. So listen, last Wednesday on Dynamite, we saw a different side of Orange Cassidy. Quite frankly, we saw his true colors. We saw a thief. The guy stole Penelope Ford's sunglasses. I mean, what kind of man does that? And from my vantage point, you gentlemen just came to help and do the right thing. Am I right?
I saw a damsel in distress, so I jumped in and I came in to rescue. Then me and the boys here had to stomp out that orange up top.
Very good, very good. And John Silver, tonight you were taking on Orange Cassidy. And even, no, I have to ask you, because clearly the Dark Order is a true family. What does this mean to see John Silver in one-on-one action at Full Gear?
As you know, we are one. And when one member of Dark Order involved, all members of Dark Order
are involved, and tonight it is no different. Dark Order is the main event. Dark Order is everything in AEW. And tonight, Big John Silver is going to prove to the world that he is solid gold.
Very good. So it sounds like we have another main event tonight. John Silver, what are your plans with Orange Cassidy tonight?
Alex, do you see this? Do you see that? Huh? What do you think about that? What do you see? That's a lot of beef. I am the meat man. This is a T-bone steak right here. And what am I going against? An orange? Which one of you boys brought me a bib? Because guess what? Johnny Hungry.
Well, it sounds like we're going to have a feast here tonight. Dark Order, it is always such a pleasure. Listen, I have to commend you on your humanitarian efforts. I know you have a very busy evening planned. And of course, I'm sure a very great big celebration at the end of your win tonight. So best of luck, even though you don't need it, John.
Oh, thank you, Alex. You're the best. You're the man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. Wow. So another main event here at Full Gear. Can't wait for that one. Tony and Dasha, unfortunately, I guess I have to pass it along to you. But
Alex, got a little something for you. Little pre-show celebration. Cheers. Huh? What do you say?
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely.
Hey, to John Silver.
To John Silver. Oh, that's so good. Tony and Dasha, back to you.
What in the world is it with your broadcast colleague, Alex Abrahantes?
I told you Alex was drinking that Kool-Aid.
Oh, wow.
It's official. It's official now.
Part of the Dark Order, maybe. All right, fans, we are moments away from the buy-in. We want you to join us. Don't forget, tonight it is Full Gear. Cable, satellite providers, also on BR Live, internationally on Fight.tv. You can join us. 8 tremendous matches, a match during the buy-in. Everybody wants to know who's going to say I quit, who's going to be the next World Tag Team Champ, who is going to go on to face the World Champion down the road, and will MJF be part of the Inner Circle? A lot of questions, right?
So many questions, but you have to watch tonight. We're going to be on the edges of our seats. We can't wait. The excitement is incredible tonight. I can't even contain myself.
They have been coming in here on the red carpet at Daly's Place all day, and we can't wait to bring you tonight's event. Don't forget, we're also going to take you out to the Hardy compound for the Elite Deletion match. So much going on, so many questions. Thank you for being with us. Let's go to our buy-in as we get you ready for Full Gear. For Dasha, I'm Tony Schiavone. See you tonight.